Today we will learn how to simplify expressions by combining like terms and using the distributive property. Let's review that terms are the parts of the expression that are separated by addition or subtraction signs. The subtraction sign is part of the term behind it because it can also be considered as a negative. There are four terms. Okay? There are two ways you can look at this expression. We can circle each term and include the operation behind it, or the operation in front of the term. And our four terms are 2x, y, negative 3z, and positive 5. Another way that you can take a look at this is anywhere you see a subtraction sign, you can change it by adding the opposite or using keep, change, so that everything is separated by addition and you can clearly see the negatives. So let's talk about combining like terms. Like terms have the same variables raised to the same powers. So here are some examples. 3x and 5x are like terms. pq squared and p squared cubed are unlike terms. They both have p and q, but in the first one q is squared and in the second one p is squared. ab squared and ab squared divided by 2 are like terms. When you have something divided by 2, it is the same thing as multiplying by 1/2. 3x and 4y are unlike terms. They have different variables. 4xy and 7xy are like terms because they have the same exact variables raised to the same power. And even though 3x squared and 2x cubed have the same variable, they have different powers, so they are unlike terms. So like terms are terms that have the same variables or letters raised to the same power, known as exponents. So as you look at your expression, start circling your terms. My first term is 2x squared. I don't have anything else with an x squared in it, so 2x squared stands alone. Then I look at 7x. There's a negative 4x right next to it. Those two terms are like terms. There are no other terms with a y in it, so 3y stands alone. And then because negative 2 and 5 are both constants, they are also like terms. Like terms can be combined, and we can combine them by adding the coefficients together. So in this expression, there is nothing to add with 2x squared, so that just comes down. To combine 7x and negative 4x, we do 7 minus 4, or 7 plus negative 4, to get positive 3x. The 3y was positive and it stands alone, and negative 2 plus 5 is positive 3. So this would be your simplified expression. We can also approach combining like terms using two well-known properties of mathematics. The first is the commutative property. The commutative property allows us to change the position of terms and factors. So here are my terms. We can reorganize our expression so that our like terms are right next to each other. Then the associative property allows us to group terms in different ways. So we can combine 2x minus 4x and 3y minus 7y and 9xy minus 7xy. 2x minus 4x will give us negative 2x. 3y minus 7y will give us negative 4y. And 9xy minus 7xy will give us positive 2xy. And here is your simplified expression. The distributive property allows us to take something that is outside multiple sets of terms and multiply it to each term one at a time. This says that A is multiplying the sum of B and C. So I can multiply A and B together and add it to the product of A and C. So here are some examples with some actual numbers. This 8 is outside of parentheses, so it needs to multiply 5r, r, and 1. So I have 8 times 5r plus 8 times r plus 8 times 1. 8 times 5r will give us 40r, 8r, and 8. And then 40r and 8r are like terms. Our final simplified expression is 48r plus 8. In our second example, we have a little more going on, but I do see a set of parentheses and the number 4 in front of it. So I'm going to bring down my negative n. I'm not doing anything with it yet. I'm going to multiply 4 and n together, and 4 and negative 1 together, and tack 8 on at the end. Now I have two sets of like terms to combine. Negative n plus 4n gives you 3n, and negative 4 plus 8 gives you positive 4. This is your final simplified expression. Try the 3 your turn problems at the back of your notes and have them checked by me on Monday.